Let's get this box build started. I've got all my wood there, all 16mm. The only reason is you can only get 18mm in the big pieces that are 2.4 meters long. I don't have a trailer anymore, and there's nowhere to put it. I can actually still fit these in my back seats. This time I'm going to use T-nuts. Now I can't take credit for that. Car Audio Fabrication, I'll pop up a little link here now. Car Audio Fabrication, go check out his video. He showed these. So you actually then bolt the subs in with the T-nut, which goes from the bottom, and then you screw them in like normal, but they're actually bolted in. So then you can take them in and out of the box as many times as you want, and not, slowly wear away the thread for where the screw goes in. That's just the rough bits of wood. Haven't done that side yet, but you can actually see how big it is. It's actually a lot bigger than it looks, or than it probably did on the computer. I'll just put that next to it. That's a circular saw. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that each build I like to get a new tool. So this time I got a nail gun. So now I can just put the side, back side, just tack them in quickly. Then obviously I'll drill a hole and put proper screws in, and obviously I'll glue it. But it'll just mean that I can whip it together quick before adding the screws. So at this stage, which is the back, this is the port side, I'd be trying to drill holes, I'd probably mark a few, and I'd be trying to keep it straight where I want it. But now I'll just run glue down there, push it together, go bang bang bang, 3 quick nails, then I'll do some screws after I've done that. So that's perfect. Silicon, it's a nice clean bead, run on that, the port side, and then we've got that side glued in, but I'm waiting for the glue to dry before I silicon it. So I thought I'd add a bit of bracing, so there's that side and a bit of that covered, then we cover the rest of this to probably, you space it out, and I'm also covering a bit of the bottom. This morning I've cut up the 45, got that glued and tacked in with the nail gun. Now the port goes there, it follows the line, which will then join up with the back of the port, like so. You've got to sand off that little corner there. So that's the front baffle. The subs actually sit in this one to sit flush. Right, there we have perfect holes. Right there. As good as it gets, baby. Jasper circle jigs. If you haven't got one and you're making boxes, get one. Right, there we have the box. Now with the face properly attached and screwed. Still got to sand down that edge over there, it was just a bad cut. And then I've got a brace there, holding the front to the bottom. I'm going to put a little one there and a little one on that side. The port, that's the corner piece, obviously on the straight bit. The piece over there is that little bit and this straight bit. So all I got to make now is these two. Now these angles here are all 21 degrees, the same as the angle on this. So all of these, so all I got to do is set the circular saw. I just got to do one more flare on this side. I'm just gluing it together at the moment with the wood glue. Once it's all set and everything and strong enough, then I'm going to fiberglass it. Right, here's the finished port. It's still drying obviously, but that is it drying. Finished, it's not sanded or anything like that, but finished construction. There's the hole there for the terminal. It's taken most of the day, but we've got it to this stage. Obviously there's still sanding to go with all shit like that. Okay, I'm not saying that's finished, but anyway, that's the port at least finished, like the shape of it all built. And so what I'm going to do now is resin the inside of the box and resin and fiberglass the inside of the port. That's still wet, just finished that. As you can see, there's fiberglass in both of the joins. That should make it very strong. There's double layer, so put fiberglass, paint it over, another layer, 2 layers of fiberglass there. So yeah, as I said, still wet, I just finished. I'm going to walk over to the box, which has been, as you can see, completely resined. The whole inside of the box. This gives it a nice smooth shine on it. So there is the port, finished and sanded on this side. So although it's like all angled here and stuff, I've rolled it all over just a little and made my joins perfect. So I added those 2 little bits there. As you can see, they're nailed in. Now I've nailed that to the bottom. And now I'm going to attach the port with fiberglass. I have glued it as well, but rather than trying to get it in there and everything, I'm just going to friggin' fiberglass all the bottom and everything. So then that port is solid. And we have the port, as you can see, fiberglassed in. put another layer of fiberglass onto these bits, and I've actually fiberglassed it to the bottom. I used those to attach it. Now they're fiberglassed. So I'm just about to put the top on it. Just want to come and show you. So there's the port in on the ground there. With a nice curve on it. Everything, as you can see, and it's all resined. All the fiberglass is set in there. There's a bit of dust. I've just put in my T-nuts. Okay, that is the main construction finished right there. So here's the box. I flipped it upside down, and I just siliconed the top inside. Obviously there's what was the bottom, so that's that. Once that dries, then I can fiberglass. The reason I still silicon, even though I'm still resining, it does give a nice curve because I run my finger along it, and it gives a nice curve rather than a sharp corner. And just in case for sealing it up. Alright, there we go, got it body filled, just all screw holes. There's some scratches over there that I just kind of wiped it across it just to fill in the gaps. I've sanded all the screw holes on the top, side, and I've made the port perfectly smooth there. So what I'm doing now is I've just glued that one in. There's also going to be one right there, just two little braces, just so they're bracing the middle of the top. All the bottom, a bit more fiberglass just to knock down bottom corner. So that whole port is stupid strong, like the strongest port by far ever made by me. All resin on the bottom. I had enough to repaint the whole this side and the whole back, so it's all nice and all double resined port, all painted again. It will be sitting in the car like that. Actually the port will be on the left side, but it will be facing up, being a Hyundai Getz hatch, so it will be facing upwards. I could have loaded it off the back, but if I did, the box would have been a fuckload smaller, so I could make it this big by loading it off the rear. It's going to take up the whole boot, but it's a beast of a box for 212s, and the two option audios probably aren't, you know, they're not the ideal sub for this box. They'll be fine in it, but you could easily have a bigger, better subs in this box. This is the box after a flush trim with the router, and I've been sanding it with the orbital thing over there, doing some good leaking. And there we have it. Finished the box. Port looks a little weird there because there's a bit of body filler, but when I paint it, I'll probably paint not the whole port obviously, because I like you want to feel the smooth resin, but I might paint, you know, you might find I paint into the box a little bit. I'm not going to just stop here. I might even just go back to the start of the horn. Finally, just put the terminal thing in, plate, whatever, and the wiring. So for about $200 worth of cost, just parts and materials and fiberglass and stuff, I think that's not a bad box. Alright, there's the old stuff out. There's the boot. We'll put the box in. Yeah, it plays it good. 42.9, Gary straight up with a 45.1.
So in novice class tonight, we had Jacob Thorpe with a second place with a top score of 142.9.